How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Realm here, and today I am here bringing you guys our NFL Week 8 recap. And without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So at first, we have the Thursday Night Football game between the Baltimore Ravens and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Ravens winning this one 27-22. Tampa Bay was dominant early, apart from their special teams unit, but Baltimore was able to shut them down in the second quarter, and they dominated the third quarter. Tampa Bay has been struggling recently, and it does not seem like it's going to come to any end in sight, as next week they play the Rams, which will be a good game to watch. Up next, we got the last London game between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Broncos escaping with a 21-17 win because the Jags defense buckled. Both teams had a strong defense throughout the entire game. Neither offense was able to come up big, but it was a matter of whose defense was going to buckle more, and it was the Jags in this one. Let's see if they can right the ship next week. But the Broncos, not out of the woods yet. They're still playing like garbage this year. Up next, we got a big tank bowl between the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta taking it 37-34 in overtime. It was really a tough game for offense until the end of the game. It was a defensive battle on both sides. But, Atlanta in their choking way is able to get a lead, and then the defense blows it, giving Carolina the tie. And then Atlanta blows it in overtime by turning the ball over at their own 20. So the Panthers take over, but they miss the field goal, so they choked. And then Atlanta drives the ball all the way downfield to kick the field goal. That was just really an interesting video or situation there. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears getting dominated by the Dallas Cowboys 49-29. Dallas had a hot start on both sides. Chicago was unable to do anything until it didn't matter. I mean, it was really, really rough. Dallas almost collapsing, making it 28-23 halfway through the third quarter, but then, Dallas just said, no, we're putting the boot down now. You're losing. Up next, we got Miami beating Detroit 31-27. It was an offensive slugfest early, but then after Detroit got those 27 points on the board early, they couldn't do anything. They blew it, and the Miami just managed to slowly chip away at the lead to walk away victorious. So let's see if Detroit can actually get something going next week, because that team is a promising team. They're just not capitalizing it, and I think it might be Dan Campbell at this point holding that team back, even though I praised him last year. Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Arizona Cardinals 34-26. Arizona was unable to get things going early as Minnesota jumped out to a 14-3 lead, but then Arizona was able to get things moving, get things rolling, and they were able to get points on the board. Now their comeback effort was strong, but Minnesota was somehow able to come up clutch and secure the game. Up next, we got a surprise shutout where New Orleans shuts out the Las Vegas Raiders 24-0. The offense had nothing going. They went fishing out down by in the Gulf of Mexico apparently. New Orleans was able to somehow dominate, and Josh McDaniels made a couple of questionable calls, but really it was just a rough game for the Raiders overall. Up next, we got the New England Patriots beating the New York Jets 22-17. It was a close contested game, which was really surprising. I expected the Jets to dominate, so did a lot of the team. But New England was able to keep it close and able to secure it whenever they needed it. I mean, they were able to score 9 points or 12 points in the last two quarters, and the defense held strong, stopping the Jets. So, I mean, the Jets' offense just fell flat, and the Patriots are looking somewhat scary again now. Oh, boy. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans beating the Houston Texans 17-10. Houston was able to keep it close early with when it was 7-3 in the first half, But then once Tennessee got going, there was just no looking back for them at all. And Houston was unable to get anything going until it didn't matter after scoring those 3 points. Okay, up next, we got the Washington Commies beating the Indianapolis Colts 17-16. Indianapolis was looking flat early on. Well, Washington was dominating, but then the kind of flipped, where Washington started going flat after going ahead 7-3. But then Indy fell flat again as Washington was able to pull away at the very end when they needed it. Now Washington able to keep things close, and the Colts just in purgatory, man. Let's see what they do next week, but they're just in purgatory. Up next, we got a game that was a loss as soon as the schedule was released. The Los Angeles Rams falling to the San Francisco 49ers 31-14. It started as an offensive shootout, but then after halftime, it was just all Niners. The Rams can never win against the Niners ever again unless it's the postseason. We have 2 losses at the start of every season, and we play an extra road game every year. That being said, I am also upset with McVay because they were down 17 points with a minute left, and they throw the ball with Cooper Kupp in the game. What happens? Cooper Kupp gets injured. Hopefully not for very long. I haven't seen much news on that, but hopefully he's not out long. Up next, we got the Seattle Seahawks beating the New York Giants 27-13. It was a tough start for both teams. I mean, it was close, but then Seattle was just able to hit the gas and not turn back. I mean, once they got ahead, they just dominated the game on all fronts. So the Giants not looking as strong, but maybe just a bad game. So we'll see how they do going forward. Up next, we got Sunday Night Football between the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills coming out really strong early, while Green Bay was flat. But then after there was 3 turnovers between 2 teams that really turned the tide of the game. Josh Allen throws an interception, then Aaron Rodgers throws an interception, and then Josh Allen drives the team down to the goal line and he throws another interception. That turned the tide of the game and really made it look like the Packers were going to have a chance to win it. But then the defense was able to secure the win for the Bills when they needed it. And last but not least, we got Monday Night Football between the Cincinnati Bengals, or the Bungles, against the Cleveland Brownies. Somehow the Browns winning 32-13. It was complete Cleveland dominance. Cincinnati was unable to get on the board until a minute into the fourth quarter, when they were already down 25-0. Which is really interesting. I mean, what's happening with the Bengals? I can say the same thing with the Rams. What happened to both of those Super Bowl teams? They have fallen off sharply after last year. So we'll have to see if they can both turn things around going forward. But right now, I am not as confident in either of those teams to pull wins. But yeah, that's about all we got. I want to say a huge thank you to every single one of you guys who checked out our streams over the weekend. It was awesome to see it. We gained an extra 4 subscribers. We gained a lot of people coming in, checking us out. And I just want to say thank you for that. Once again, at 200 subscribers, which we are 30 away from that mark, we will have a public Discord server be released. In fact, I actually have it all set up over here. So you can kind of get a little sneak peek here. If you can see, we have a lot of channels set up. So that's your little sneak peek on that server. And yeah, not much else to say, but if you liked it, smash like, smash subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys tomorrow with our power rankings. I guess with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out and have a good one.